Okay, well, let's get started. Welcome to our monthly Listings to Leads training. I'm JD, your Senior Digital Marketing and Technologies Manager. The title just gets longer day by day. I just add a random word to it. Today, we're talking about Listings to Leads. This is one of my favorite tools. I always try to snatch this one up, this training, because I'm a big fan of this one and what it does. And also, in that, part of the reason why I like to talk about it and so passionate about it is because I kind of call myself a listings to leads convert. I used to be anti listings to leads, not really believe in it, not be a big fan of it for a couple of reasons. And I have really come around to it because I have been proven wrong about all of the things I had concerns about. And that to me is really cool to be able to go, hey, I was completely wrong, and to really see how powerful this tool is. So we're really going to do kind of a 101 on listings to leads today, what it is, why it is useful, and how you can implement it in your business. One of the things I love so much about listings to leads is that they continue to add more and more features. I saw something that they added literally just last week. I got another email about a new feature they added, which is pushing updates out, pushing posts out to your Google business profile. So it's just one more thing that they're doing. And the reason I say that is because what that means is that there could be so many classes on this. So that's why we're really focusing on a 101 on and kind of how to leverage that. We are recording this one. We don't normally record these, but we're recording this because I wanted to make sure we had an up-to-date 101 for essentially July 2023, to make sure we had something fresh to leverage. So so we're going to kind of dive in. So what listings to leads is on the whole is let's actually go to Schmidt Resources too and take a look at the page there. What listings to leads is on the whole is it is a I always say it does what it says on the tin, right? It is all about lead generation. It does what it says on the tin. It takes your listings and it helps you leverage those to generate leads. It's not just about leveraging listings, although I've been here almost 7 years, and far and away the best way to generate leads is through listings. There are other ways you can do it. They have home evaluations, they have PDF guides that you can leverage for downloads, but at the end of the day, listings are just always the most fruitful way to generate leads. So the idea is to take your listings and to generate leads with them, leveraging essentially what's called required or forced or kind of recommended registration. So when there's a landing page, when someone sees your listing, see if I can actually get an example up here. When you post your listings to social media and say, I have a new listing, check it out. It's something like that. When I view the landing page, I can go check out this beautiful new listing. And when I post it to social media, it actually comes up with what's called, like I said, forced registration or recommended registration, where before I am able to go look at the property, look at the photos, look at the listing information, it's asking me to register, to either continue with Facebook. And if I click on this, I can actually just autofill the information with my Facebook info, or I can click here and use my email and automatically put my info, or like manually put my info in with my name, email, and phone number, and then an extra question there. And the idea is that when I put this info in, I click see the details now. I get to see as the client, consumer, I get to see all the listing information, and you as the agent get my lead information. And what's cool is that not only do you get my information, you get my information along with the property that I was interested in. So it's going to come up and say, John Doe, 1234567, my phone number, and then connected to 253 Aniline Avenue North. So you're going to be able to see, hey, this is the property this person inquired about. So when you reach out to me and follow up with that lead, you know what listing they were asking about. You're not just randomly, reaching in the dark and going, hey, you were interested in something, right? So that's the very general gist of the landing pages of listings to leads. Obviously, there is tons of nuance, and we're going to walk through how to set that up and stuff. But that is the overall idea. What's great, and we're going to walk through this actually very soon here, is that we have worked, a Schmidt family of companies has worked with listings to leads and Moxie to make it so that now, as long as you connect it properly, your leads from listings to leads can flow right into Moxie Engage. So it used to be that you had to download your leads from Listings to Leads and then upload them into whatever CRM you use, which is just one more extra step that is not fun, pretty frustrating. Like, okay, you have to download a CSV, upload a file, all that stuff. Whereas now you can have them automatically go right to where you want them to go. So that's kind of the overview. We're going to start by talking about how to make sure your profile is set up correctly so that everything can flow the right way. Now, what's fun is that, or what's nice is that Listings to Leads is a platform, is a software, website, however, whatever you want to use to describe it, that is actually specifically, excuse me, my chair is stuck, specifically offered to you by Schmidt family of companies. This is something that our brokerage offers complimentary. So when you are onboarded, this is automatically set up for you. Listings to Leads set up for you. So it's part of the onboarding process. So you should have login information somewhere. If you don't, reach out to your ASC. Your ASC should be able to set up your account or to reset your password if your account is not set up, if you don't have your login information for that. So let's talk about what you want to make sure you have set up in your profile when you are, before you really start leveraging everything. So I have Listings to Leads logged in here, but I'm also really quickly going to log into CB Desk because there's something that I like to make sure I have set up so that, like I said, my leads are flowing in the way that I want them to. So like most things, there's a lot of, make sure I get my code in from my phone, 475835. Beautiful. So there are a lot of account settings that should, like I said earlier, really automatically be set up. But I'm just going to pick one of our agents here. I'll pick Bernie just to make sure. Merkel. I'll pick, oh geez, who should we pick then? Salmon. There, I'll pick Joni for now. Perfect. So when we go into your agent account, it should look something similar like this. So in order to do this, what you're going to do is you're going to log into Listings to Leads. How can you do that? You literally go to listings2leads.com and then you click login. So when we look at what that looks like here, listings2leads.com. Now, there is a big login button right here. That is what you are looking for. If you go to schmidtresources.com, we also have a Listings to Leads page that is under our technologies tab. And there is also a login tab. Whoopsies. There is also a login tab right across the top. But what I don't want you to do is when you're on Listings to Leads, you don't want to click on free trial. Basically, if you go to Listings to Leads and it's asking you to pay for anything or put your credit card in or have any sort of trial, that is incorrect. You're in the wrong place. You don't need to worry about that. It should be for you as simple as log in, put your username and password in, and then sign in. So that's all you need to worry about. Once you've done that, in the lower left-hand corner, so you're going to get to a dashboard screen. There's going to be a lot of stuff there. I don't really want you to worry about a lot of that stuff right now. It's just a lot of that sort of website dashboardy sort of things that a lot of websites and stuff have. What I want you to do is go down to the bottom left-hand corner of the sidebar over here, and there should be a tab that says profile. It has a little circle and a little person thing that says profile. And there's really only a couple of things we're going to focus on here. But basically, you really just want to make sure that your information looks correct. So your office and contact info should all be here. Your name, what email, office info, that stuff should all be there. Your MLS details should all be set there. So I would not try to mess with any of these MLS details. That should be all set for you. There are just a couple of things we're gonna play with here. The first thing is that Listings to Leads is really based around leveraging your social media accounts. So what I mean by that is that these landing pages for Listings to Leads are awesome for your listings, for your home evaluations, all this stuff. However, they're not helpful unless you have anywhere to put them, right? So I have a really cool landing page for one of my listings, but if I'm not marketing that anywhere, what use is that? So that's where the social media part comes in. That's where advertising them on Facebook, advertising them on Instagram. Some people love to leverage LinkedIn. Some people love to put them, some people like to put them in their emails, campaigns or newsletters as well. But it's important to have your social media accounts connected. So the first thing I like to recommend doing is on the left-hand side over here, going to where it says, let me actually just get that, going to where it says literally social media accounts and clicking on that. And right here, I believe, or is that, no, sorry, is it under auto posting? Yeah, I apologize. It's under this auto posting right here. It's not under social media accounts, but under auto posting on the left here. It's going to actually ask you to connect your social media accounts. So this is where you're going to connect your accounts to make sure that you can actually post things to Facebook, to Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram. If you want things to be posted automatically, this is where you do it. Now, no matter what, you'll always be able to copy and paste the links. You're always going to have that opportunity, but this is going to be a huge asset in order to be able to do things automatically. So it's going to be as simple as clicking connect to Facebook. It's going to put me in my account. Yep. So it's going to say, do you want to connect to Facebook? And it's going to ask you to click continue. It's going to ask you which business page you want to connect to, which is you're going to see here. Whoops, shoot. That we actually just did automatically. So I'm going to disconnect. So it's really, I mean, that is as simple as it is. I'm going to disconnect because, again, I don't want to mess with this agent's profile too much. But basically, it's going to ask you to connect to your profile. If you have more than one business page, you probably won't. You might have one or two. If you have more than one page, it's going to ask you which page you want to connect to. Is it this business page or this one? You're going to choose which one. You're going to click save, and then you're good. Your page is connected, and you're now going to be able to auto post things, or you're going to be able to just shoot things off right from there. So when you're looking at listings later, which we'll take a look at soon, there's going to be a button that says publish to Facebook, and you can click on that and it'll just go right to Facebook for you instead of having to copy and paste. So first thing I like to say is just make sure that you connect your social media accounts so that it's automatic. It's not make or break. However, it does make things just a little bit smoother. So that's step one under your account, is to make sure you do that. Second thing is your CRM and integration. So when we go back to our account settings over here, go back to our profile details that we were just looking at. The next thing I want us to do is up here, it says CRM/integration. So I want us to click on CRM/integration, and I want us to connect Listings2Leads to Moxie. So here's how we're going to do that. It's very simple. From this page, we're going to scroll down to literally where it says Moxie Works. So it said we're under profile on the left, CRM/integration up at top, and then we're just going to scroll down to where it says Moxie Works, and I'm going to click on Moxie Works. Once I've done that, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go into, I'm going to leave that screen up, and then in another tab, I'm going to go into Moxie from CV Desks. Let me get up here real quick. I'm going to go into Moxie Works. Just log into my Moxie account quick. And I'm going to go into my account. Basically, all I need to do is make sure a couple of things match. So right here under my profile, under my Moxie account, I'm going to click on Contact Info, the second tab. All I need to do here is make sure that my Moxie sync email, not my primary or display, but my Moxie sync email, I need to make sure that that matches my Moxie Works lead email address. So obviously right now for this training, they're not the same. This one's Haley at Schmidt HQ. This one is Susie at Schmidt Family of Companies. Those do not match. You want yours to match. You want your Moxie sync email to match your Moxie Works lead email address. If they don't, change this one. You can't change the one in Moxie as easily. If that one, if they do not match, change the one in Listings2Leads and click save. Just the big green save right here. And that is going to save your email address. So now when you start leveraging Listings2Leads and getting leads into your account in Listings2Leads, they're going to flow right into Moxie Engage. As simple as that. All you have to do is make sure that your Moxie Works lead email address matches your Moxie sync email. So what are we doing after that? Next, final thing we're going to do here actually, no, I think that is the final thing we're going to do for the profile. So after you have those couple things for your profile set up, now I want to talk about really how to leverage listings to leads. So I'm just going to go back up here I'm going to go into one of our agents' profiles again. I think I still technically am, but I just want to make sure. I'll go back into Joni. So look at her profile here, and yeah, we'll do it from here. So the nice thing about one of the many nice things about listings to leads is that your listings automatically sync from the MLS as long as it's set up correctly, which it should be. If it's not set up correctly, again, we can work to put a ticket in with support or make sure that all the boxes are checked so it is set up the right way. But when everything is working correctly, your listings automatically feed into listings to leads. So your listing goes live in the MLS. We always like to be conservative and say within 24 hours it will be here in listings to leads. In reality, it's normally within 2 or 3 hours, if that. You can always manually add it sooner, but within 2 or 3 hours, it should be in listings to leads. So what's nice is that it syncs automatically. All of your photos come over. So I'm going to go into I'm in an office account right now, so there will be far more listings here than a single agent would have. But what's nice is that I can go in here, and if I click on this listing right here, we were just looking at it a moment ago. That's the page. But if I go to the edit right here, is this the right button? Did I press this one last time? There we go. All of the photos have come over. All of the listing information comes over. Everything comes over. I don't need to add anything. I don't need to add photos, descriptions. The only thing that you're going to want to do is that most of the time, and again, this is the thing that is maybe a little bit iffy, but most of the time you will need to do status changes. So actually, I guess they do have changed this, I guess, since the last time I was here. The price should update if you have a price update or a price improvement. Sometimes you do need to change prices or statuses like pending or sold, but most of the time that all should be automatic. So I guess what I'd say there is just if you are going to post from listings to leads for like a pending, just make sure that it looks correct before you actually make the change. So that's a pretty simple thing to make sure. So the information is automatically there. If I take a look at the photos, they're all automatically here. Everything comes over automatically. So what you want to do now is advertise the home. Now, I will do a quick plug that if you go to schmidtvideoclassroom.com, about 2 years ago, I believe, two-ish, maybe it was a little more, 2 years ago, we did a series actually right here. It's the first play. It's called Bagging Leads. And it was about 6 or 7 part series, I think, maybe a 5-part series, where we actually did 5 different videos of 5 different ways you could leverage listings to leads to generate leads. It was last year, I think. It was 1 year ago. So we did one about doing the Facebook lead ads, leveraging open houses to generate leads, just solds, PDF guides, and home evaluations. 5 different ways to leverage listings to leads specifically to generate leads. What we're going to talk about right now is like the step 1 way, which is a just listed. You have a new listing. How can I leverage listings to leads to market that? Straight, simple ways of doing it. So this is a great series if you want to go a little bit more in depth. It was a really popular series we did when we did it live, or when I say did live, did the virtual live trainings of it. But we're going to talk about doing a just listed. So when you go into listings to leads and you click on your listings and you click on the listing you want to market, right? So we're gonna click on the listing again and we're going to make sure that everything looks the way that we want it to. So 205 Woodlark is our listing, let's just say. The listing information itself should be good to go, like I said. That should all be great. Now I'm going to go up here to market listing. Now, what's cool is that they have, if you look over here on the left-hand side, all of that stuff on the left-hand side, these are all different things that listings to leads automatically does. Some of these things are great. Some of these things I'm not particularly concerned with you guys knowing about. One thing, for example, I think is awesome. There's an awesome thing and there's a not so awesome thing, is they have the open house sign-in form. So if I click right here on open house sign-in form, it says new, so I'm interested in what's new about it. Looks like, they've added they've added a QR code to it and it had some questions. So one thing that I think is awesome about this is that they have if you use, for example, an iPad at the open house sign in, or now they have a QR code that you can print and put on something cool. Instead of having a handwritten sign in form, they have an online version that I can copy this URL and I could have this link up at my open house on my iPad or on a laptop perhaps. And this could be the sign in or sign out form here. So when someone is leaving the property, I could say, hey, here's where you got to sign out. Do I think it was well presented? Notify me of changes, notify me of new listings. Are you working with a realtor? And then they have the option to ask for a guide, 6 things to check before buying a home guide. And so they can get that email to them, yes or no. No matter what, though, this lead info goes to you. So having a sign in or sign out form at an open house is incredibly common. It's a very common practice. Why not leverage listings to leads to put those people in your database without you having to manually do it? And it still covers your are you working with a realtor thing there, right? This to me is awesome. Now they even have the QR code thing there where you could use the QR code instead of having to have like scan here to sign in. Even cooler. Now, what I don't like about this is they have a print version that they've updated. I can tell they've updated it a little bit since the last time, but it still looks kind of blech to me. I'm not a big fan of how this print version looks. I just don't like these weird boxes and stuff. I'm not a big fan of this print version. So like I love the online version of the open house sign-in form. I don't really love the print version. So cool things, some not so cool things. But again, this is one way they're leveraging a listing to generate leads. Listing2Leads, right? Listing flyers, postcards, and door hangers, they're cool because they're automated. They're not great templates, in my personal opinion, especially when you've got a customizable, marketing group here to work with you. So that's just my 2 cents on that. But then they have the single, we really mainly focus on the single property website and the social media posts for Facebook and Facebook and Instagram. So they have a few things here, but those are the things that we're most focused on. So let's go ahead and take a look here at social media post. So we're going to click right here, literally social media post, the 3 little dots right here. And we're going to, again, this is where if we had the Facebook account connected, like I said, we could auto post right here, meaning we could click post now and it would post the listing to social media for us. But even though we don't, we can still set it up. So first thing I could do is I could literally just click this view button right here and I could copy and paste this link and post it to Facebook. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, done and done. However, sometimes we don't always love the way that the image comes over. It's called the thumbnail, meaning when I copy and paste the link, how it looks. So one thing I like to show everybody is if you're on this screen, look over here at this little marker, this little, paintbrush, I guess. I have this little paintbrush here. You click on that paintbrush, and it's going to give me what that image is going to look like. So if I copied and pasted this link on Facebook right now, this is how it would look. Now, I'm like, okay, this is okay. But honestly, that blue box is a little bit bulky and it kind of covers up like a third of the home. And I don't know, it just doesn't look the way that I want it to. So what's cool is that, and I would always recommend doing this before you post it on Facebook because then you deal with cookies and the cache and it just can kind of annoying. So just take my word for it, do this beforehand. But what's cool here is that I can edit this photo and what it's going to look like on Facebook before I post it. So here's how we're going to do that. We are going to go to the little pencil here to edit the colors. But before we do that even, I'm going to scroll down here to where it says change template. And if you scroll down here along this bottom, you're going to see a bunch of different templates for this image. You've got some that have let me click on it, like 3 listing photos, and I could change between all 3 of those. You've got some that have 2. I am personally, best practice for me, I'm a big fan of 1 nice big listing photo. The less text on screen, the less graphic, the better. I personally love this one here. I think this is probably my favorite template just because it really prominently features your photo. It has your headshot on there and it still has the text. This to me is like my favorite template. This is what I go with most of the time. So I go, okay, cool. I love this template, but I still want to change the color or I want to change the font if you want to. I honestly think, again, you could go down here, click save, and you're done. But just for the sake of to show you what you can do, click that little pencil right there. And from here, I can change this photo out. Again, this is a great exterior photo, but if I wanted to change it, I could click upload image, and it's going to give me, or update image, sorry, not upload, update image. And it's going to show me every single MLS photo that I have here, and I can choose from any of them. Like I said, exterior photos are the best option 99% of the time. One of the biggest exceptions I have to that is a condominium. If you have a condo, then normally you're either going to want to use the exterior of the complex or the view from the balcony of the condo if it's got a beautiful view. But I think we already have a great image, so I don't feel the need to change this at all. I can go down here and I can change the color. Maybe I want to do that. Maybe I go, this blue is great, but maybe it's a luxury listing. Maybe it's at like $800,000. So instead of blue, I want to use black. So that just gives it that one of those luxury colors, right? I got that there. And maybe instead of just listed, or maybe I love the text, I want to change the font. They've got some great fonts here. They've got some silly fonts here. Like, what's the one that's always, is it Mark Script? Yeah, that one. I would not use this. This would not look good on someone's iPhone. So we can go up here to some of those normal fonts. Let's do Roboto, like that, right? So I can click apply and then click save. And now I've updated my listing image. So now I can share it to social media. And while that is going, I'm going to get my Facebook, my business page up on the side here, just so I can show you what we're going to do next. Perfect. So let me go switch here. Switch. And what we have here is we're now ready to post this listing to social media. So what I'm going to do, got too many tabs. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go out of this screen right here. Now it says that some of those changes can take a minute or two, so that's why I just like to wait a little bit. But now my post is ready. So again, right now, because I don't have anything connected, I can't post automatically. But thankfully, what I can do very easily is click this view button right here, this little eye, and it's going to give me the link that I want. This is my listing. I'm simply going to right click, copy. I'm going to go to my business page here, go to my, let me zoom in a little bit for everyone. Go here, do right click, paste, and it should, hopefully I've given it enough time. Perfect. And my new image is just pulled over with the just listed in Holland. And now I'm just going to write my information. So I'm going to write just listed in Holland, Michigan. And then I'm just going to do my normal sort of marketing stuff that I would normally write about my listing. So just listen, Holland, Michigan. Beautiful. I don't know anything about this home, so I'm just going to make it up. Beautiful, 4-bed, 2.5 bath home. Let's say sits on 2 acres, close proximity to parks and downtown. Recently remodeled basement, and then I'll say new roof in May 2023. And then I'm going to say click below to see more. So then I'm going to post it. So that's going to be my listing. Now I want to compare that to what it looks like from your Moxie website. If you were to just post it from your website or coldwellbanker.com or something like that. Because to me, it is not a better or worse. It becomes, what is your objective? So let me make sure, 205 Woodlark Court. Because I want to discuss what the difference there is. Holland, let's just try that. So now what's going to happen, let me get my listing up here. Beautiful. Okay. So if I, as a consumer, went to Facebook and you boosted this and you ran an ad campaign for it, if I saw this, I'd go, ooh, I want to learn more. And I clicked to see more. This is what I would see. It's not going to let me see anything else about the listing until I register with my information. Some people are going to click away immediately. They're going to go, nope, I don't care, whatever. And they're not going to do it. And what's interesting is that is the main reason why I did not care for listings to leads for the longest time. I was in the camp of, well, I would not do that. I would just go, nope, I don't care. Then I'm going to go look at something else. I'm going to go on Zillow. I'm going to go on coldwellbanker.com. I'm not going to look at that listing if I have to register to look at it. Some people even go so far as to write comments on the post saying, why do I have to register to look at this listing, blah, blah, blah. What's wild to me, though, is that for every one person, this is not an exact ratio, but for every one person who writes a comment like that, you're getting 4, 5, 6, 7 leads in your system. My recommendation, if someone makes a comment, you either just hide it or you respond to that. I actually had an agent do something that was amazing one time to me. Someone responded, or someone commented, "Why do I have to register to see this property on Facebook? That seems silly to me." And instead of hiding it, this agent, one of our agents in West Michigan, actually responded and said, "Hey, I totally understand your concerns. I have registration turned on so that I can follow up with any buyers interested in this property, so that one, I can keep up with them to make sure that if they are seriously interested, I can." Be of service to them to maybe bring them on a tour. But two, I'm also making sure that I'm doing my due diligence for my sellers to make sure that if there are serious buyers, that I'm giving them the opportunity to take a look at the home. And I loved that she wrote a comment like that, because that not only took care of that comment, but it also branded her as that much more of a professional. I thought it was a beautiful comment and a really cool way to really stand out and be a professional. So I thought that was really cool. So this is where I get the question: should I be posting from? I get this question a lot. Should I post from my Moxie site or should I post from Listings to Leads? There is not a better or a worse answer. It depends on your goal. If you post from Listings to Leads, your objective is going to be lead generation. You should really only be doing Listings to Leads primarily if you're running advertisements, boosting posts, running ads to get leads. If you're just posting, "Hey, check out my new listing," and you're just kind of doing it casually because you want people to see the new listing, I wouldn't recommend it, because then you're gonna be having people turn away. Whereas if you want leads, if you're trying to generate lead gen or leads for your sphere or for your funnel, this is absolutely the way to do it, 100%. Whereas if you share the listing from your Moxie site, this is what it looks like. Right when I click on the link, I can see all of the information. I have all the property info, all the marketing remarks. I've got the map right there. I've got all the photos right here. This is far more consumer friendly in the fact that all the info is right here for me. I can share it. I can look at it. I can go through the photos. All the information is right there. The quote unquote downside to this is that, yes, there is a way for someone to quote unquote fill out a form. They can call you or email you or schedule, like there are some buttons here: schedule a showing, email form, or call me. However, the chances of them doing that are incredibly slim, because it's not something they're forced to do or required to do or even pushed to do in any way. They're not going to do it. So this is great for exposure for the listing, but it is not going to generate any leads. So it's really, like I said, it goes back to what are you trying to accomplish? Are you trying to really show off the listing and get people to see it and click on it? Then Moxie or your brokerage site is going to be the way to go. Are you trying to generate leads for your funnel and build up some lead gen? Listings to Leads is absolutely going to be the way to go. They both serve valuable purposes. It just depends on what your objective is. I'm going to delete this one because this is my training page, and I just would rather not have that there. So again, very quickly, that is how you can leverage a just listed. So one last just kind of quick marketing point before we move on to just a couple of other pieces, because again, this could be a thing. We could talk about Listings to Leads for a very long time. In general, people want leads all the time. Everyone is super, super hyped about lead gen. How do I get more leads? How do I get more leads? And one of the things, I mentioned the bagging leads series earlier. And one of the reasons why that series is so valuable, why there's so much good content there, is that what I tell people all the time with lead gen is that, yes, you want leads, right? Yes, you want people's information. But the thing that you need to remember is, I, as a consumer, am sitting here going, why should I give you my info? Right? Why should I give you my info or my email, my phone number, my name? What is in it for me? So, as the agent, as the marketer, as the person running the ad, it is your duty or it's your responsibility to hook me enough that I want to give you that info. Meaning, it's up to you to convince me to go, oh, that's valuable enough that here's my phone number, here's my email. And oftentimes just saying, give me your email because I'm a great realtor, that's not enough. Everybody's going to say they're a great realtor. So the question is, how can I convince you to give you my information? What value, more honestly, what value can I provide to you that is worth you giving me that information? So that's what we focus on in the Bag and Lead series, is what value can I provide to you that you can give me your info. So when you look at that bagging lead series, when I go back to the Schmidt video classroom real quick, all of those different videos, that's what we're focused on. So when we go to these videos real quick, you're going to see leveraging open houses. How can you leverage an open house to bring value to somebody so that they want to give you their name, email, and phone number? How can you leverage a just sold so that somebody wants to give you their name, email, and phone number? And I'll give you the clue to that one right now in a very short thing. When it comes to a just sold, the angle there is not just going, just sold, click below for more. The angle is going, essentially, this home just sold in your area for $3,000 over asking price or over list price, or for 10% over list price, or if it didn't sell for over, just say this home just sold in your area for $400,000 or $380,000, 700, or this home just sold in your area and may have affected your home's value. If you want to know what your home could be worth, click below for more information. So basically, you're leveraging your just sold by saying this home sold and now your home could be affected. That's the hook. So you're saying, if you want to know what your home's value could be, give me a call, send me an email, fill out this form. That's the hook. You're not just saying, this home sold, give me your info. The PDF guides are the same thing. The PDF guides are you saying, hey, if you fill out this form, here's what I'm going to give you. I am going to email you this guide. I'm going to give you this thing, as opposed to just give me your info. So what we're doing here when we're talking about posting a just listed, click below for more information, the hook here is actually incredibly simple. The hook is fill out this form to learn more about this property. Do you want to see the photos? Do you want to see the listing information? Do you want to see if this is a home that could be your next, your dream home? Then fill out the form. That's what the hook is for this one. Do you want to know more? Then fill out the form. So that's the hook for a just listed. But really, that is the gist of it. And then what's going to happen is, as the leads start to come in, you're going to get email notifications. They're going to go into Moxie Engage. You're going to get the text notifications there if you have that set up. But what's nice about this is that, let's say you have Moxie Engage, you don't have that set up the right way, right? That for whatever reason, you didn't have the email set up the right way. Another thing that we had one time with an agent, which was a sad example, but a great example, was before the Moxie Engage connection, in your profile, let me show you here. In your profile, there's also a section for primary email or alternate email where you can say, send all leads. So that when you get a lead, maybe you have a team, you have an assistant, or just you, send all leads is going to be, hey, if a lead comes in to my account, send it here. So that every time you get a lead, you get that email notification. So we had an agent who had that set up, but wasn't getting any lead notifications. She was going, why am I not getting any emails about this? So we went into her account and we noticed that her email was actually spelled wrong. It was missing, I think it was something at cbgreatlakes.com, and it was missing the L. So it was kim.jones@cbgreatakes.com. So that's why she wasn't getting any of it. So we put the L back in, obviously. So we fixed the email. But her question is, so did I get any leads? So here's the great thing about Listings2Leads is that whether you have the Moxie integration set up or not, whether your email is spelled right or not, all of your leads are still also stored here in Listings2Leads. So if you look on the left-hand side here, there's always going to be this little tab here that says leads. Now, I'm not going to click on it right now just because we're in an account and I don't want to pop that information on screen. But if you click on your leads tab, you are going to see every single lead that you've ever received in Listings2Leads. The info that they submitted, the date that they submitted it, and the form that they submitted it through. So if it was about a specific listing, you're going to see that. If it was from a specific landing page, you're going to see that. All of that information is going to be right there for you on that screen. So your leads, your lead information is always going to be available to you. If you change CRMs and it accidentally gets white, something crazy like that happens, they're still going to be available here. So that's one of the really cool things I love about Listings to Leads is that that information is never going to be lost. So again, that was an overview quickly on how to leverage the listings aspect of it, specifically a just listed. As you can see here, we have pendings. What's interesting is if I were to leverage one of these pendings, you're going to see that information is going to change pretty quickly. So what I mean by that is if I click on this pending listing, and you can see under the status bar is what I'm talking about. It says just listed, pending. So I'm going to click on one of these pendings here, and you'll notice that information, when I try to advertise the property here, I click view. Whoops, I clicked the wrong landing page once again. I like to do the listing landing page, I believe. And this is what it says. So again, this is without going too far into the messaging like we discussed, but it says the address is pending. And then it says recent home sales have affected your home's value. Get your home's new value instantly for free. So the second the status of this property changed in Listings to Leads, the landing page changed. It's no longer about click here to get the home's information. It's about click here to get your home's new value instantly for free. So you don't have to do anything. The status updated, the landing page updated. You did not have to go in and change this. You did not have to go in and update any of the information itself. All of that's done automatically. That's one of the beautiful things about Listings to Leads is that as soon as information is updated automatically, it all does it for you. The work that you have to do, quote unquote, manually really is just about what kind of ad do you want to run and where do you want to post it. But in terms of entering information or the administrative side of it, the work you have to do there is pretty non-existent. It's more about you working on the ad and the marketing side of things, which is really, really helpful. So the only other thing I wanted to talk about today, and I'm going to be very brief because, again, we have a video on this in Bagging Leads, and I just wanted you to know that it exists, is if you don't have a listing right now. Let's say I don't have a listing, but I want to do stuff with Listings to Leads. What can I do? There are two things I want you to know about that you can do. The first one is leveraging somebody else's listing. So let's say you don't have any listings yourself, but either maybe you're hosting somebody's open house coming up and they've allowed you to market that listing, or you just ask an agent, you say, hey, John, I saw your new listing on, Woodlark Court. That's awesome. Would you mind if I, advertise that on my business page? Of course, I'm going to credit you as a listing agent. They said, yeah, go ahead. So it's not going to be automatically in your account because it's not your listing. However, right up here, if under this listings button, you see a big green add listing button. And if you click on that, it will give you two options: manual, which is not fun because that's manually adding all of the information. It's not very great, or grab listing. So if you click on grab listing, normally, because again, I'm in an agent account, or a manager account, so it's a bit different, but it's going to ask you for two things. It's going to ask you for the MLS number, and it's going to ask you for the zip code. And then there's going to be one checkbox that says, are you the listing agent? Yes or no. Obviously, you're going to choose no. So all you need is the MLS number, the zip code, and then to say that you're not the listing agent. And you click submit, and it's going to automatically import that entire listing into your Listings to Leads for you to leverage. So even though it's not your listing, you now have it in yours to leverage and market, whether it's the open house, whether it's just check out this listing and you're doing an ad for it, but you're still crediting the listing agent. That's one way you can leverage Listings to Leads, even if you don't have a listing. It's by borrowing somebody else's listing. Always, always, always ask the agent's permission before you do that. And always, always, always make sure that you credit the listing agent when you post about it. The other thing you can do, though, that's a little bit more fun, that's not listing dependent at all, is on the left-hand side over here. And unfortunately, we're not going to have time to really dive into this, is landing pages. So landing pages are pages, blah, 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 are pages in listings to leads that are not dependent on listings at all. The majority of these are built around home evaluations. What is your home worth? How much could what could your value be? Stuff like that. I'm deleting a couple old ones here that don't need to be in this account anymore. But that is the majority of what these are built. There are some other ones, like you can see here, there's down payment assistance and new construction, and you can go in, and if you actually filter by type, there are some FSBO ones. There's how to avoid foreclosure. There are a bunch of different landing page types in here. But basically, these all revolve around not using listings, but still generating leads. Now, in our marketing groups, what's the word I'm looking for? Experience. These are not as fruitful as listings are. They still get some leads, but not as many. So I just use that as a warning. I'm not saying to not use these. I still think they're great, but they're not as advantageous. They don't get as many listings. So just an FYI there more than anything else. But what they do is, again, I can view, take a look at this one here. And this is what it's looking like. So that's one of the ones I think are teamed for trading. Let me try this one, see if it's a little bit more serious. Yeah, something like this, right? What is your Grand Rapids home worth now? Recent home sales have affected your home's value. Get your home's new value instantly and for free. So it's going to look something like that. I can copy that. And just like I would a listing page, I can go to my business page, paste it in. I could create my ad. So you got the beautiful home there, home values have changed. And I could write my little text about it. Again, what's my hook, right? My hook is not enough to just go, get your home's value. It's the home values have changed. The market is hot. Sellers, there is still a seller's market. Get multiple offers on something like that, right? You're telling me why I as a seller should want to submit my information. And then what's really cool, I'll actually show you what this looks like when a seller does it, is if I were to put in an address here, not that one, I think it's this one here. If I put in an address here, West 2nd Street, put an address here and I click get value estimate, first thing it's going to do is it's going to bring up a map and go, hey, here's your heist, or wow, here's your map. I was gonna say it's a couple things. Here's a map where your home is. This is actually new selling price. I haven't seen that one before. So they're going to ask you for a report, and you can put in your email and phone number. And I'm just going to put mickeymouse@gmail.com, 8675309. And then it's going to say, what are you interested in? I need to sell soon, blah, 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 blah. I'm just going to pick an option. So you're getting a little more information from the seller. But what's cool is that, I have to put a zip code in, 616. There we go. What's cool is that I'm going to get a report here about what my home's value could be worth, like this. Low estimate, property value, high estimate. And then what's cool is that you as the agent are also going to get this report. So you're going to get a lead, and I think I'll be able to actually go to the leads right here. Maybe we can see this one. You're going to get a lead that says, hey, this person, Mickey Mouse at gmail.com, just right here, unknown. Yep, unknown. Cold from Realtors, Mickey Mouse at gmail.com, the phone number, seller from this landing page. That info is all going to get in. And if I click view details, outside of you're going to get that email, but two, you're going to be able to see the exact same report that I got. So now when you call this lead, you get to go, hey, JD, or hey, Mickey Mouse, I saw that you put in a property valuation for a property on 22nd Street in Holland. And, they gave you that range of about 249 to 259. Just want to check in and see what your thoughts on that were. Did that seem accurate to you? Did you have questions about that? So you're now equipped with so much more information than just, hey, I saw that you filled out a form. What can I do for you? You have the address, you have where it is located on the map, you have the valuation that was given to them, and you can now talk to them more informed than just, what can I do for you? This is incredibly powerful to me, and put them on a funnel like that, or put them on a drip campaign based off of that. And they have some options here. So again, this is just one, and I want to make sure to delete that lead from the account there. This is just one of many, that's one of the landing pages. Again, in the Schmidt Video Classroom, we have a video there in bagging leads that goes specifically over that and more. How to really create a landing page, how to edit the landing page, change the photography and stuff like that. So the landing pages are super, super awesome, especially if you don't have a listing to leverage, but still want to try to do some lead gen. So that is going to wrap it for today. I see a chat. Perfect timing just popped in. That one, oh, that's a great question, George. That was when you're creating the landing page. That was actually the very top options. Top or it's option number one, property valuation plus. Let me zoom in a little bit. That is actually like the well, it's really not gonna let me do it, is it? Um, I'll just do it this way with the computer. There we go. That is like the go-to landing page, so to speak. It's property valuation plus. That one is the what is your home worth? And once you're in there, you can go in and change the verbiage and the photos, and you can even change some of the questions that they can that you ask for of the seller. But that's where you'd want to start. It's property valuation plus, and then kind of go from there. It's again, once you click on that and name it, it's technically done and good for you to go. But editing it is 100% always recommended because you want to make sure it's customized, especially locally. So in Florida, you're going to want to have a more Floridian looking photo. In Michigan, you're going to have a little more Michigandery or Midwestern looking photo. So that because the thing is that people can tell, right? Consumers can tell if something's a little spammy. So I can change the text, and then of course, if I click on page 2 on this little version, I can change the questions that are asked. So I've got name was actually hidden, but I want name. I want them to have to give me their name. So when I call or email them, I know I'm talking to. So I'm going to make sure to require that and then click save. But again, this has been recorded. I'm going to edit it a little bit together with that little blip we had earlier, upload it to the Schmidt Video Classroom by the end of the day today. And I cannot stress enough a couple of things. One, the bagging lead series is great on being able to go in and see much more in-depth stuff about listings to leads. And then two, on, that was Facebook, on schmidtresources.com, the Listing2Leads page here. Not only does it have the login, it also has a getting started guide, which is a lot of what we talked about. However, it might be you can go through it at your pace. So obviously, these videos you can always start and stop and watch and play back. But a written guide. Some people love the visuals and the text to go that way. So yeah, that's what I got for you guys. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you guys being here.